a wick, a candle body, and then this is the area that we're planning on coming down to. So we have a tiny bit of wiggle room, but what you can see right here is a 1, 2, 3, 4 times a break, and then we come down and we retest it, which means we should come down to this area right over here in order to get the measured move off of here. So this is a bullish descending wedge, which is it's bullish, but you have to make sure that you understand that it has to run an Elliott wave structure within that that thing. So we're looking at, I kind of mapped it out here for you so you can see it. When you draw this triangle down, you're basically just going to run right across the top of this hump, and then you're going to hit this hump. So this is a good trend line start. And then it came down here, it closed the candle body out like right here perfectly. And now we're still about 60% of the way into this. You want to be at least 70% before you start to break out again. So what I've done was I've took this orange line, which is from 2021, and wrote it across, which was a very, very, very good support. So that was a 1, 2, 3, 4 time as a break. We never came down and retested it. This is your retest zone right over here. So I put a date on where this triangle is coming down and where this intersects. That date is going to be on April 19th. So I did the same thing for this one up here, this trend line right over here that broke. We did a 1, 2, 3, 4 time as a break. And now we came to retest. So I did have this right here. And I did say in my previous videos that this was about the time frame where it was going to top and then it was going to get rejected at. So that's currently what we're looking at the at this level. So I do continue to see pulse chain continuing to drop. This last leg right over here is a less accurate leg. Will this come all the way down here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different reasons on why it should actually get down to this level, which is 74K. Great support level. Will it break this? There's a few things I want to be able to pull up, but I don't want to be too bearish on this market yet. I still want some more confirmations before I start pulling up the bear charts. As far as right now goes, I'm still bullish. 225 is the bull target that I currently have for December of 2025. Yeah, every 4 years we've been run on this structure, and it's been pretty accurate every single 4 years. So I've got dozens and dozens of charts that all kind of show the same thing. We are running into something that's a little bit weird this time around. So next week after, we're going to be able to see where this ends up. So if by next week, the April 17th, we'll be down in this zone right over here. If we continue to trade candles below here, and we're down in this zone over here at the 63K, we're definitely going to be in bear territory. But this huge orange line right over here, this has to hit this a couple times before it breaks. So I have this little green zone right over here. This is going to be your accumulation zone because you have all this level right over here where it popped. And then you had all this level up here where it stopped. So now I can actually shrink that down. So since we've already had this, now we can shrink this down to this zone right here. So this is now your tighter accumulation zone to currently be in. So this is all your getting in zone. This is if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you should be kind of sitting on the sidelines and waiting for a pop above this because you have 1, 2, 3. One more time hitting this line, it'll break out. If it breaks out of here, which it can do, it's only about a 40% chance right now. But if it breaks this, you're going to end up going into a channel and you'll be way up here at the 95K again, and then end up coming down to hit this level over here. So it would look a little bit more like this if you were to come down, scoop this, and then you'd come down like this and then mess around for a while. But you got to be able to go into a channel. So your channel would end up looking like this. You're going to use the same line to the downside because it's very confirmed, and you'd come up this way, and then you'd be able to see this coming up and then coming down, hit the middle of the line, and then it's not going to come all the way back down, but you finally get a breakout up here later. So this is a bullish flag, but these triangles turns into flags. So once you have the pattern, the confirmed pattern, it's pretty accurate. So looking at the Bitcoin, it does look like it's ready to continue to come down. We still got tariffs last set of tariffs that came in. We got a little pull down, and then it kind of messed around for a little while, and then it got pulled down again. So I think that's currently what's going to continue to happen for the next couple of weeks with these new tariffs and whatever happened with the money indexes and everything going on. So Bitcoin does look like it's in bearish territory, sideways pattern trading. So we're going to let this one sit. And if you have a copy of that link, if you save that link in the chat, you'll be able to pull this up and you can look at this anytime to be able to follow what I'm doing with this one. So that's my my alpha, my TA alpha for you guys this week. I want to bring it back to trade.kingpui.com. I just wanted to bring up the King Pui charts. It looks like we currently got a breakout. So we're starting to get to that scooping type of action, which is going to be doing one of these things, which is your cup and your handle. So we're going to see how much power we actually get on this. I think it's going to be a slow ride. I don't think it's going to be a straight moonshot for most of these projects out here, but it all depends on the market. So if money starts flooding back in here because there's green candles, we'll see a quick pop. But I don't see a bunch of money coming back into this market right now. If you see money come into the market, let me know, because we may end up doing something like you did right here. So this was your breakout, and then you continue the upside. So I don't currently see that. We got a lower high on most of our crypto coins in the field. So Queen Pui is actually doing better than King Pui as far as the breakout goes. It's already broke out, retested, and now it's on its way up. So I get a resistance point right over here at the 215% mark. Again, don't take any of this stuff as financial advice. I'm just drawing these lines on the chart. They're just for fun. I put all these different colors on here to show you the difference when I'm saying, look at the purple line. Look at the green line.
You mean you're just a dude on the internet looking at some charts?
Well, I have to say that for legal reasons.
Wait. Hang on a second.
The content shared in this YouTube video, as well as any resources linked below, is not intended to be interpreted or relied upon as financial advice. We are not lawyers, accountants, or financial advisors, nor do we claim to be. The information provided is not a replacement for personalized financial advice from a qualified professional who understands the specific details of your situation. While we strive to ensure the accuracy and value of the information shared on this channel and through associated resources, it should not be considered a recommendation to avoid consulting with a financial professional. Always seek guidance from a trusted expert to address your unique circumstances.
You cover all the bases with that.
Bang, bang. All right, I'm done. Okay.
Yeah. So, but you know, if you were looking and getting into a project and it's at its very, very low, and you still have builders here that are putting all the effort into it, you know, I see this as a pretty good bet myself. Again, it's all gambling to me. So these are. I just wanted to point these out. Somebody asked me the other day what an index was, and an index is going to be a cluster of different tokens that are put together. So when they rise, they all rise together because they're all kind of tied to each other with liquidity. So there's a bunch of liquidity with the king and the queen and all these other ones that are built into here. So these are the meme king index, and then we've got the queens of crypto index. So you're going to have the familiar UFO and PTGC. 15% of those. WPLS is needed in there. The pulse chain version of Hex, not the eHex. So these are good to actually be in. And X, Teddy Bear, and Most. Is Teddy Bear going to take off? Do you think we're going to get a rebound on Teddy Bear? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with Teddy Bear, but that's the only one that people are claiming that's gonna do a revival because it needs Jesus for Teddy Bear. So looking at the crypto bubbles, Pi token, I don't have much to say about Pi. I have some that I did many moons ago, and I don't even know. I'm gonna have to dig up my research on this. So, but looking at the Hex, negative 2%. Ton coin, negative 2%. It's just sideways actions, guys. So we're still looking on waking up. I should play the Richard Hart "Waking Up" song is what I need to do, because he needs to wake up again.
So also, I just wanted to point out on the homie farms, there's additional utility for King and Queen Pui for people to earn an APR and get a reward of the DAT token. Even the VETS token here Yeah, let me zoom in here.
Oh yeah, you got it.
So down here, even vets, if you're holding vets, you can stake it, pair it with Nope, and get a 159% APR, and then earn DAT. Over here, you got the Queen. So again, another way for so the Queen is not just by holding it liquid, you earn PLS rewards for just holding Queen, but now you can put that Queen to work when you pair it with Nope in the homie farms and earn the DAT token at 133% APR. King is all the way up here in the top right, up in here, so that's at 164 APR. So don't sleep on the utility case of DAT token. That's going to be something in the future as well. So I would probably get some 2FUCs while it's down at the bottom as well for the 2FUCs protocol and bribery and all that good stuff. So that's all I got.
Yeah, we're going to go through some of these OG products here in the near future. I want to bring up, I might as well just later on, maybe next week, pull up Benjamin, and he can just go through his laundry list of all the projects that he's in. And that's literally the OG products that we should all be focused on. I mean, he's really got a lot of, he's really got his hands dug deep in a lot of these projects. So he's going to have a lot more knowledge on what's actually cooking, because he's talking to these people on a daily basis in the background. He called me right before the show and told me that he was working with Hans, and he was like so excited and all this stuff. And I was like, holy cow, I didn't know that. You don't come here and have these conversations with me. Don't be so secret, man. I need the inside. I need the 411. So,
but hey, appreciate them reaching out, and making the effort to contact and get a person up to speed.
Yeah, we're going to pull a good old PTGC. This is people's favorite chart that everybody.
And the crowd goes wild. Woo!
So you bottomed out in the buy zone, which is this level right here. Had to be in the buy zone, and you currently stayed above that level, which is what we want. We still don't have a higher low, so just an FYI, we've come up to this green zone right over here, which is this zone where we're getting rejected at currently. The green candle, the green wick right over here, the doji candle we're currently looking at, does look like it could be a small reversal. So let's go ahead and let that reverse come down to a very small reversal. Maybe down to this level right over here, 2192, and then continue up from there. So we need a higher low. We could come all the way up here before we start coming down again. So whatever PTGC is doing, keep doing it, because you're currently leading the way as far as the percentages go. From what I see, I already called this. This chart's been out here for a while, but I got the 1, 2, 3, 4 time as a break. So it's broken. It's bullish. So congratulations to them. So right now we see one massive wave to the upside and one massive wave to the downside. So this is confirming an Elliott wave structure of this either 1, 2, and then the rest goes up. This next leg right here that we're about to have, this big green one, this one right here is supposed to have the most amount of volume. So can you imagine being at the bottom right over here and a bunch of volume comes flooding in, and then you end up getting up to the next level? So I look forward to PTGC. It's a good token. They're highly respected in the pulse chain community. So talked about a lot.
It's solid, man, and so solid enough that the Queen Pui, she granted it to be the smart contract to incorporate some alien tech into it, and for that, we have not tipped our hat to them, burning 0.5% of PTGC and UFO in the Queen Pui smart contract.
So you're burning those tokens as well in Queen Pui?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
What happens when they're all burnt and there's no more tokens left? Did anybody think about that? Like, they continuously, but you can't shut off the burning feature. How does that work?
It's a great question. So I guess time's going to tell, because everyone likes burning, right? There's not enough people asking that question, right? Does that maybe drive price up? Can the project ultimately go dead, because there's no more supply? But the supply will be what's the holders have in their wallets. That will be the remaining amount of the supply. And maybe that has some price appreciation.
Yeah, so there's tokens that are inflationary and tokens that are deflationary. So I was thinking about this the other day, that if you don't have organic liquidity coming into the chain and you're just burning tokens, it acts the same as you bringing in organic liquidity. So if you're burning your tokens for your project, you're gaining that value monetarily, because there's less supply and demand, obviously. So I see PTGC getting a massive run up because of what they're doing with their this and their UFO. So moving over to past BTC, I want to bring up Ethereum. Ethereum is pretty ugly right now. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4 times a break, has not come up to retest yet. There's still a little bit more drowning to go, but if this is where we're at, this is going to be July 2018, which does not match up to the date we have in January of 2025, or March of 2025. So this is not part of the 4-year cycle. There's still some other things going on. So we could get this thing to be a fake out and turn around and go up to the outside. So this could be a 1, 2, 3 times a break, not a 4 times a break, because we missed it, and then we finally got this breakdown. So just an FYI, there's still a little bit of wiggle room on where you can play. But I'm going to say that this is probably going to be a good breakdown. It's going to be a little while before we break up from there. December, October, hopefully we'll be back above this line where you come down, you hit it, and then you break back through. So that's what I'm currently looking at with Ethereum. There's another Ethereum chart that I have, which is currently still following the chart from when it broke. This is a 1, a 2, this is a big 3, and this is a 4 and a retest. So now we're obviously coming down, and we did a really nice drop. We came up, we bounced off of the support level, which is going to be this accumulation zone. So we have this wick right over here that we had, and then this is on a bigger time frame. That's candle body. So it came back up here, almost touched that, and now heading back to the downside. So I currently have a target, another 19% down, which isn't too bad. At 1435 is what I've got for measured move, and that measured move is based off of a head and shoulders pattern that we currently have right here. That's a shoulder. That's a head. That's a shoulder. So in these head and shoulder patterns, I gotta wiggle this one up a little bit more. There you go, color them in. In these head and shoulders pattern, you see this trend line going to the upside right over here. You're gonna have a measured move from where the head is, and it comes down, and it hits this like a T, like a horizontal T. So when you break this down and you look at it, this line right over here, you just move it down to here. That's your measured move on that. So that's how I got this number of 1435, by just taking the measured move off of the head and shoulders. So pretty accurate. Within $100, I think we're going to be pretty close on that. So if we get a rejection at 14.5, it's going to be very similar to what we see down here at the Bitcoin drop. So I've got multiple assets both running down together, which is pretty good confluence. So that's good on that. And then the Ethereum chart. This is the bear chart that I have for the Ethereum. I'm just going to throw this one out there. That is this possible that we can get to the bottom of this channel down here at $580? Is that possible? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't want to start speculating that that's going to be a huge bear, but I was focused on this for a long time, and I saw this trend line right here, and you got the 1, 2, 3, 4 time as a break, but I was really, really concerned when it broke this level right here. So we started out back here in 2016, and then we dragged it across this one right here. We dragged it across here, and then we finally broke it right here. So that's why I have these levels on here, because we broke that and we never really crossed below this level at this $1,100 since then. So that is really concerning, because when you break this trend line, you then start into a different pattern. And if you can see the next pattern that we're in a ascending, broadening wedge, which is also bearish. So this is another reason on why it was going to continue to the downside. So how far down will it go? Well, let's go ahead and take the measured move off of that and see where you're currently going to be at. I got to zoom in because nobody can see anything. Let's take that and throw it down here. So how far down do you go if you actually put this right on the break? That's going to bring you down to $1,400. Isn't that crazy? So I got two reasons on two measured moves on two different charts on why 1450 is going to be a good place to reject from and get bullish on Ethereum. Is it possible to run down to these levels? It is, but it's highly unlikely. Look at the RSI on this weekly chart right over here. The RSI is getting maxed out to the bottom side, which means it's very, very bullish. And then when we start pulling up these RSIs over here, this one's going to be the 1 week. This one's going to be the 1 month. This one's going to be the 1 week. This one's going to be the daily. And this one's going to be the hourly. So if we kind of look at what's happening here, it's not quite ready on the monthly. It's ready to go on the weekly, which is what we have right here, about to move. Same one, this one. And then we've also got this one is already ready to go, and this one's already starting to pull up. So a little more wiggle room to this side, and you're going to end up rocketing. So I don't think it's going to go any lower than 1450 as far as now goes. And then we're going to look at the XRP, which is currently in a nasty, nasty, nasty head and shoulders pattern, which you can see. It doesn't have 4 times a break on it. But we're going to start with this first wick that came down right over here, run this trend line straight across, and you can see the head and shoulders clear as day. Just needs one more hit to break down, and if it breaks down, then we're going to be in trouble. So the head and shoulders is definitely something to keep an eye on. And if it does break down, how far down does it go? Do you want to know? Because I show 80 cents on the measured move from the head to here. Is 80 cents possible? Take a look at this. You have all this buy zone. This is your accumulation zone if this ends up coming down. It also seems to be a Bart Simpson pattern. So I'm not bearish on it yet, because I'm just going to let you know that XRP has been known to fake out and completely go the other way. So I'm currently always questioning this chart itself. So when I'm looking at these charts, I'm looking at this going, okay, well, I can see we got a 1, 2, 3. It didn't quite break right here. It wicked up and it started to drop again. So guess what? We've now confirmed that XRP is going to end up dropping. So we got another trend line to currently break right over here. We're coming up to that. If we bounce right here and continue to the upside and we break this, then we're in a bullish reversal pattern. But until we break this white line right here, we ain't going nowhere. So we're looking at the 217 mark. So you start trading above 217, 218, you can start to say we're bullish on the 15-minute. So I've really started to hone in on this one because I've been trading this one like crazy with all the bull and bear breaks. But it does look like we're getting back into bearish territory, like it's going to end up dropping hard, which is the same thing I see on Bitcoin, which is the same thing I see on Ethereum. So XRP is not going to be immune from that. However, you want to pull up the bullish thought process on this. We can take a look at and compare past cycles, and we're going to look at this from back here. We can see that we took a massive run up, and then we traded sideways for months, and then we ran up again to our top. So right now we ran up, we traded sideways. Are we going to get another massive pop to bring us back up to $10 or up to $10 for the first time? Possible. That's going to be your retest zone. So we're going to see what happens with XRP, but I'm not touching my bags. I'm just going to leave them alone. And I wanted to throw up Solana too, because Solana does look extremely bearish as well. Not broken yet, but is getting there. I mean, look at, you're on the cusp of breaking down. However, this one looks like it's a shoulder ahead and still needs another shoulder before it breaks down. So I think Solana might be doing something different than the rest of the market because it just looks weird to me. Highly manipulated, something going on with it. I don't know, but it's not pulse chain. So, and then we got the emit farms, which we already talked about. And then I wanted to jump over to PDI really quick. I said PDI was going to run up here a little bit ago, but I had to adjust my chart a little bit. And it looks like we are still currently pushing to the upside as expected. We got a little wiggle room right here. This is where we should actually be pushing up to the zone. So, I mean, we were almost there. We're almost there. Look at this wick that came up here. Got sold right back down. But if we end up running up to this area right over here at this 42.84, I will almost guarantee that there's going to be a massive sell-off right here because you're going to get like a 20%, 30% green candle on here. And then they're just going to sell it right back off. The last time I looked, the PDI minter still can mint a couple $1 million worth of liquidity out of the chain. And that will still straggle on for a little while. So there's lots and lots of people that still hold the PDI waiting for it to get up there. I don't want to get into the high school drama of all the stuff that's going on with PDI right now. But I just wanted to point out a few things where it's following the charts. Somebody pinging? And okay. So when we look at this, I wanted to say that I was looking at these numbers right over here, and I took this from the 15th of March, and we were at 24, just under 24 million billion. Sorry, 24 billion. Since then, we've had 800 million tokens that were minted by the PDI minter. So they really cranked it up after we started. After he was known. So if we were to go into the PDI chart and we scroll down and we look and we type in 800 million tokens, is that right? 100,000 million. So 100,000 million. So right now, 100,000 million, there's almost, since the 15th of last month, tokens that have been minted at this price, not this price, because this was 100, 200, 300%, is currently $1.9 million at this price. So just imagine that there's still many, many, many more millions of tokens that are out there to be sold off on the market. And that means that there's this much liquidity currently that's still sitting there that can be sold off between in a half a month. This is what was minted. So besides the people that are trying to sell out at a profit, you also have the PDI minter who's printing free tokens, and there's still that much liquidity that he printed out within 15 days, a half a month. $1.2 million at this price, 1.9 million. So if we can get those tokens and make this thing go to zero as fast as possible, that's going to really, really help out this chain. I really think that this is really an eyesore that everybody's still dealing with. But the good thing about it is it has brought a bunch of people together. That's the positive note. Now, we know that there's liquidity in other pairs that it's able to run through. So that's the PDI. I wanted to pull over to USDC as well. I've been paying attention to this right over here, and this has not minted any, which is good. We got people that are going through the contracts now, not just PDI, but all the contracts. And they're going through these to look to see if they can mint any. And it's been unsuccessful for USDC. It's been unsuccessful for the P version of Tether, and unsuccessful for wrapped BTC so far. So these have all been the same number. So if anybody wants to see it, they can go to the scanner tool. They can copy this, paste it somewhere, and then come back to it a couple days later and see if there's if this number goes up. If the number goes up, somebody found a way to mint it. So every single one of these is counterparty risk. You got people that can come over from the other chain. They have keys. It's a dangerous game to play in now that there's a lot of exposure and vulnerabilities that we can see. So for me, I'm just staying away from these P copies is what I'm personally doing. I wanted to pull up the emit token for the people that have not seen the emit yet. We're still working on some just straight sideways action. The emit token does look like it's bullish, but it's just still sideways because nobody's really trading it. And so that's what I got for the charts. I wanted to take a look and see what's at the top over here. Teddy Bear, what are you doing? Teddy Bear, what are you doing? Are you going to run up that 500%? I would not buy Teddy Bear personally. This is my personal opinion, but we got 337% of this next trend line right over here. This is massive resistance because you have this. It's going to have to hit its head on here, and you also have another one that's pointed down the downwards right here. So this one right here. So this is another resistance you'd have to hit. So if you end up running up here, you're going to hit your head at 250%. But I don't believe in Teddy Bear personally because it's so heavily tied to Atropa, and Atropa's been minting T-shares, treasury bills that they created, which is a mintable thing. And then I think they're selling those into the other projects. I don't tend to want to keep up with a lot of that stuff in the background. I basically just want to focus on the charts and the TA stuff. But I can see that it's got the potential of running up 250%. If you want to take that risk, that's not something I'm willing to put anything back in. But if it comes up here, I can see it just completely dying out. By the way, this blue line at the bottom that you see how far down it came down? It actually broke below this the 1618, which is the furthest down it should have gone based off of the very, very top to the very, very bottom. And the 1618 is going to be the last resort, but it broke below that. The blue line is straight up zero. So if you think that this is going to continue to rise back up to all-time highs, I personally don't think it's going to get to all-time highs again. Not Teddy Bear. We need a new version of Teddy Bear. So a lot of people have been talking about Beast Token. It kind of scares me a little bit. People have been talking about it, getting in it, aping in it, but it's not something that I'm willing to start getting into. For number one, it's already been moving up pretty quick. So if I were to want to get into this one, I already missed the boat. So you just have to sit back and watch this one because I'm not sure what Beast is. It's not something I'm really looking at. I'm not focused on it at all. It's got the parabolic, but look at this big ass wick that came down. This is the kind of stuff that scares you. Like somebody put in a massive buy and then just completely sold it all the way back off. That is just nasty. So is that going to happen again right here, where all these people are buying in this level and then you end up down here? That's a massive drop. And look at this. If you got in at the top of this candle right over here and ended up getting out, you lost 34% on one candle. This is one day. So if you were buying up at this level, this is probably just the person that bought and then took his stuff back out. 50%. One candle. So this is why I don't want to play in some of these things that I'm not versed in. So I do think Emit's got a lot of potential with the farms and everything. So I think that's where the push should be. So if anybody's got more information on Mint, throw it in the chat, or any more information on Beast, throw it in the chat. I'm interested to hear your take on it. If you want to be in it, if you don't want to be in it, if you made money on it already, if you plan on doing this for the long haul. So I'm curious to know what's going on with this. We can pop it up in the chat and everything. And yeah, no. So Beast is the next new toy, I think, that's out there that we can see what's going on. So let's check out Pulse Chain. real quick before we get into anything else. And see what's playing, what's popping. Here's the Treasury. You know what's happening. Hart's Law. Is this Maria's project right here? 24 hours, 809%. Is this straight up manipulation? Hart's Treasury. This doesn't look like Maria's project. This is like something else. But again, you've missed the boat, and I could see these things being a complete rug. So I'm not playing with this stuff. Somebody made an X game. This is this. Oh, maybe he updated his chart already. I'm not sure if this is his. If this is his project, Fire Whale. It looks like it. I don't have the contract just for this, so don't verify. But it does look like it's got some bullish action going on. If this is the actual X game, he did update it, so that looks nice. I'm pretty excited for the X game. I think the games are what we need for this project to exceed, for Pulse Chain to continue to grow. So if I had my game ready to play, I'd definitely be promoting it right now. So Fire Whale, if you're listening, I want to join your team. Let's make some games. I got lots and lots of ideas, lots and lots of things that need to be done. So without further ado, I think I've got everything covered. Pulse Chain bottom is in. I think we need to focus on the core tokens and make this thing come back alive. What do you think there, vets? You still around? Is it just me? Let's go ahead and shoot an outro song really quick. I'm not sure we have an outro song in this list. Plug your ears because you're going to have a konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa!
For the people that jumped out of your chair. That was awesome. Anyway, well, thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate your time. If you have any more questions on this stuff, I do want to pop up my SR Trader chat. If anybody wants to get their hands on the Trader chat, I'll put it in the chat really quick. Copy that. I have my own Telegram where I just post charts every now and then. So I recommend people just share my charts. It's kind of like my 411 to the community. So srtrader.pro. Those are the Telegrams. So if anybody wants to play around, watch my charts. There you go. And that's it. I think we're good to go. You guys have yourself a great night.